So there are two things that I've done daily to show up in a more charismatic way in my life and in my work. And it's made it possible for me in all the speaking engagements I do, all the content I create, and all of the sales pitches I've done to actually woo people to want to hear what I have to say and do so rather instantly. So if you're interested in learning how to become more charismatic, or if you're even thinking to yourself, I wasn't born this way, I can't be more charismatic, that couldn't be farther from the truth. And I'm gonna tell you the 2 daily habits that you can do every day to show up more charismatic. So let's get into it. So many people come to me throughout my career and in my business because I talk a lot about speaking on camera and pitching and presenting in public. So people naturally start sharing with me their tensions and fears about this. And a lot of people tell me, I was not born charismatic like you, Joey. I don't have this gregarious personality like you do, or these other people that are the center or the life of the party. So how in the world am I going to succeed when there are other people that are more charismatic as me? This is a misconception that I want to debunk right now. Charisma can be formed over time. Naturally, yes, some people are born having a clear understanding of their personality and they've tapped into it at an early age. Some of them are naturally louder, so it's easier for them to lean into those personality traits to become more charismatic, though anyone can be more charismatic today. So if you're watching today and you feel like you have no ability to be charismatic, I want you to watch this video in full because I'm going to give you 2 quick and easy things that you can start doing now that involve some mindset shifts and also some actual actions so that you can start to find that charisma within. So the first one, they're both going to be C's. The first one is confidence. So when you look at a lot of the popular YouTubers that you like to follow, hopefully I'm one of them, what do? They show up on camera, they talk every day, and people watch them and they keep doing it. Well, what makes us keep watching these YouTubers? Well, I bet there's certain things about them that you like. Now, it may be that you're attracted to them physically, and that's totally fine. But as we know, that rarely carries us forever, because if there's no substance behind what the person is saying, then it really doesn't carry us that far. What's making us really connect with these people, they are speaking with a sense of clarity, and they're showing up in a way where they're using their words, their body language like I'm doing now, and their overall presence is appropriately commanding, and more importantly, it's engaging. And I can speak from experience now being a content creator, speaking in front of people all the time and having an array of content creator friends. There is something that makes us all unique that you can embody starting today. So are you ready to hear this? This is understanding the attributes and traits that we have so that we can turn those into external things that we're putting out that turn us into that charismatic self that's actually showing up on camera. So before you actually experience me or another person talking and decide, oh, they're pretty charismatic, what's really happening is they have an understanding of those things that they are putting to the forefront and in some ways playing up when they're talking to you. So for example, some of the things that I know to be true of myself throughout the years of self-study and doing one of the activities I'm going to tell you in a moment, and hearing other people's feedback is I have a natural sense of empathy and connection in how I want to show up to the world. And I'm really interested in helping other people, like creating these videos on YouTube. So I play that up when I am showing up in conversation, no matter what that is. Now, the important thing is you want to play up traits that come naturally to you. You want to take the things that are really attractive to you and bring them up a little bit so people see them and experience them in their full glory. So those are 2 things that I often make sure show up when I am talking to people, and that makes people lean in because they're getting this consistent experience with me. Now, you can think a lot of the other people you know and content creators, they may be playing up other things, their humor, their way of telling stories. They may have a sexy vibe to them, a seductive vibe, whatever it is. You want to lean into what feels authentic to you and play that up. So here's the way that I want you to do this today. Now, I'm going to tell you this activity and you may immediately be resistant to this, but I want you to go on this journey with me. So I want you to actually pull out your phone, your smartphone, iPhone, Android, or your computer, and I want you to hit record, okay? Now remember, this video is not going to be shared with anyone. It's in the confines of your own safe space. It's only for you. And what I want you to do is I want you to tell a story that is warm for you, that is a great memory, not something that's icky or weird. I want you to tell a story that makes you feel alive and excited. And I want you to just hit record, don't overthink this, and start talking. You don't have to go forever. It could just be a couple minutes, but I want you to tell that story in rich detail. This is an activity that actually stems from my days in studying and practicing for a while in my career, broadcast journalism. So in broadcasting, we need to understand how every word is being used in our delivery. So that's where I got a jump start on this. However, when you look back at tapes of me many years ago, I was not nearly as charismatic as I am now, and I wasn't in control of those words. But it starts by watching yourself back. So in broadcasting, and also in the fun career of YouTube, you were forced to watch yourself back in real time. You record and you edit. This video was shot and then edited. I watched the clips, and so I understand very clearly how I sound. And this is what we did in broadcasting as well. This is what you can do now to hack these very things, and you don't need to go through those programs or do anything else. You can do it right now. And what I want you to do is I want you to watch that video, and I want you to observe the words that you use. And I want you to call out the words that had most emphasis to them, whether it was the word fun, the word exciting, happy, warm, whatever it was, these adjectives that you're saying. I want you to call out the areas where you lifted your voice. Now, if you don't naturally have lift in your voice, that's okay. There's probably areas where you could tell that you were getting more invested in that story, or taking a slight pause, or where you were creating some emphasis. Those show us areas that you can lean into more to create this smooth and confident cadence in your delivery, like I'm doing right now. We want it to come natural, but if you're not aware of how you sound and you're not watching yourself on video, you only hear yourself when you're talking to someone else, and you don't get that same level of feedback. Trust me, this is what makes charismatic people really lean into it and amp it up, and it's going to make you show up and woo people to want to hear what you have to say, because you're in tune with how you're communicating and you're showing up in a way that seems very authentic and true to you, and ultimately interesting. So for cadence and tone, what you want to look for is, as you're delivering those words and what you heard in that video, you want to start to lean into ways that you speak. So you want to understand where you can create pauses for emphasis, where you can lift your words and make people feel super excited. So I'm illustrating to you right now how I speak, though this is very calculated and planned, but then it ultimately starts to become natural and second nature, because I have a good understanding of the words that I like to create emphasis on, and also how to create natural pauses. Now, I talk about this across a lot of my videos on this channel, so you can look at some of these other ones and see how you can do this in more detail, though this is an immediate hack to make you show up in a more charismatic way when you're speaking to people. And now for the second C, connection. So this stems from this fundamental belief as humans that we have, where we all want to be heard, we all want to be seen. Studies have shown that we love hearing our name more than anything else. No matter how empathetic or excited we can be as humans, as we all know, we can fall into this place of being self-consumed. And when we get very busy, sometimes we're very self-consumed. And that's fine. That's how we are as humans. So let's lean into that and understand that a great way to connect with people is to make those people feel seen and heard. I actually talk about this in another video that I'll share here, where I go in more detail about why it's important when you're speaking to people to actually understand where they are in their headspace, because then you can connect to them in a really deep way. But back to the word connection and what you can do right now. It's a mindset shift. So one of the things that is really powerful, and this is very true, let's start with in-person situations where you're talking about raising your charisma there, whether it's a casual party, a happy hour, all the way to a formal presentation where you're pitching in front of an audience or whatever. It works across the board. Just how you execute it is slightly different. But let's first talk about the mindset shift. So it's understanding what people care about. They care about being seen, being heard, and knowing that you see and hear them. People love this. So let's start with casual conversations that could happen either before a meeting, if it's in your work environment, or in a social environment. It could be a dinner, a happy hour, whatever. I always make a point every day when I get up in the morning, I do manifestations and affirmations. So if you're interested, I could talk to you more about that in the comments. Though I say every day, almost every day, some days I forget, but I say every day, I want to see people today. I make people feel seen and heard. That's the daily habit that I do, but that's an intention setting. And then from there, what I do throughout the day, I try to make a point to see those other people and ask them questions about their life. Pay attention to something that's true in their environment. If it's a party, asking them about their home, asking them how long they've lived there. If it's a client, asking them how their weekend was. This sounds so silly, and you may be already doing this, but if you are, I want you to do it with a sense of intention, because this strategically works. It fuses you together as humans because they automatically know that you see them. You're projecting onto them first about themselves. You want to understand about them. So they automatically feel like the spotlight is on them. Sometimes people will find this initially uncomfortable, though they lean into it and they're very excited because they love telling you stories about themselves. And if you genuinely care, which you should, and I think if you can't in the beginning, fake it till you make it. But understand and listen to why they're doing the job. Why do they show up? Why do they build this house? Why are they at this party? Whatever it is, ask them questions and really listen. These pieces of information are golden because especially in a professional setting, if you're trying to do sales, you're trying to build relationships with clients or prospective clients, these nuggets of information that you learn in these casual settings come back to build trust over and over and over again because people love working with humans. We don't want to work with robots. Sorry, AI. We don't want to work with people that are heartless and soulless. We want to work with people that we like and we know and we trust. Great way to build trust. I start every meeting this way and all that. But let's get to situations where you don't have immediate audience feedback. If you're speaking on camera, like I am now, you're speaking on a Zoom where you can't stop and get that verbal interaction, or you're speaking in a keynote address or in a big stage or in a boardroom, anywhere where you can't get immediate feedback. What you want to do is you want to channel what you think those people are thinking about. And that's where this other video that I told you about earlier is going to give you way more information on this, but I want to talk about it here because it's very relevant. Understanding why they showed up. Why are they listening to this talk? Why are you here today listening to this video? Because you want to believe that you can be more charismatic. You want to know how you can do that quickly and easily. So that's the motivation that you came to this video with, and I'm thinking about that as I'm sharing this content. So it's that connection that you make. So it's connection with people in real time, verbally and through eye connection and all that. Though if it's a larger group, it's through connecting with their interests and their passions. Now, ultimately, you might get the chance to meet or talk to those people after the event or eventually in person. I might meet some of you in real life. The connection continues outside of that formal speaking moment, though you getting in their headspace is key because it's going to make you feel more in tune with what they care about. And that is naturally going to make you sound more charismatic to them because they feel that you're talking directly to them. So if you're getting great value out of this video, give it a like so the YouTube algorithm sends it out to more people so we can make the world feel more charismatic and ready to show up to share their ideas. And drop a comment below. Write the word habit if you're ready to implement these 2 habits immediately to become more charismatic. And also, I read all of those comments. That's actually me and they're engaging. So ask me a question there. Let me know what you're getting out of this video. I love seeing those comments and I will directly engage with you and answer any questions you have. So go ahead and drop a comment below. Okay, so that's 2 tips for being charismatic: confidence and connection. However, there's one more thing. Using words deliberately is important, and in this video, I share with you the one word that will immediately make you create more connection with your audience. So go ahead and jump over to this video. You can learn the word and I tell you how to use it. So thanks for watching this one, and I'll see you in the next one.